who's had to prosecute some of these cases. So what perspective do you take? Do you look at all three of them? Do you have a feeling for all three and have a sense of what all three of the people involved are going through? What is your take?
So obviously every time I see an incident like that, I flash back to my own experience where, I recognize I'm one of the lucky ones that I lived. George Floyd didn't make it. Mr. Wright didn't make it. Mr. Grant, Oscar Grant, 2009 in Oakland, California, he didn't make it. And incidentally, that was another incident where the officer thought he was going for his taser. He was ultimately charged with involuntary manslaughter. We have Mr. Crawford in Ohio, who was buying a BB gun in the store. He was in the store making a purchase. Officers, black man, gun in hand, shot and killed him. No one was charged. And then we look at Tamir Rice, a young child with a toy gun. He was black, qualified for shooting. The issue is, for me, that police training has to be blown up. The problem we have is that police officers, yes, you want to be safe. And let me just qualify by saying the vast majority of police officers are good, honorable men and women. And they want to be safe and they want to go home to their families. But when your safety, your desire for your safety overrides the desire to keep the people you're supposed to protect safe, then you have instances like this, where simple interaction, because someone isn't reacting or listening to the commands that you think you're lawfully giving, you get emotionally hijacked and you lose perspective. The question is, how can someone grab a firearm believing it's a taser? Well, when you're emotionally hijacked, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but from my training, becoming emotionally hijacked is when you make mistakes. Is when, if you think about arguments you have with people, when you're so emotional that you just repeat the same thing over and over and over again because you're locked in. That can't be in law enforcement. Officers have to have the training, the wherewithal to say, I'm too far involved and invested in this. Let me take a step back. Let me bring this down, de-escalate the situation, and talk our way through this. They knew who Mr. Wright was. They knew where he lived. If he got back in the car, he won the battle. You take it to his house and you get him in custody for the misdemeanor warrant, and you proceed that way. You don't have to win it right there on the spot, and that's the problem.